Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Bunch of Nuts podcast. This is Dan. I am solo today. Cass is running late. He's at a softball game or something. He was calling it. Weather's been absolutely crazy today in Columbus. The traffic was just absolutely horrible. Once again, like Columbus drivers, when they see rain, they forget how to drive, and like there has to be something done about this. Like we as a society need to come together and figure out why Columbus drivers cannot drive, because it's driving me insane. I'm sure it drives all the commuters insane, but like we got to figure it out because it's a little rain and it's 2 hours of traffic. I've never seen anything like it. It's just drive the car. But I want to kind of recap the spring game and everything. And I guess speaking of drives, let's talk about the first drive of the spring game. And it was the first time we saw Arthur Smith's offense. And you know what? I was impressed. Um, I was really impressed by Arthur Smith's offense at first. And look, the thing about the spring game is, and it's very common, I think, a lot of programs lately. The first quarter stud, because it's your starters. You don't really want any injuries. You want to prevent injuries as much as possible. So it's not even thud. It's like if you breathe on the guy, they call him down. I noted though, I count at least three different times where Ohio State probably scores on that drive. And like two of them involved just Jeremiah Smith breaking a big play. There was two catches on that drive, which were Jeremiah Smith's, of course, two catches of the game that he was probably taken to the house in a real game. So um, I did think the Arthur Smith offense got out to a pretty good start. I mean, I really liked, and also too, it was kind of vanilla. I want to also point out, Bo Jackson wasn't in there. Isaiah West wasn't in there. They were playing the Jackson kid from Florida, who got reps, which not bad at all. Um, and then they were obviously, I think, kind of figuring out the offensive line. That's a whole. Carter Lowe did not look good. That's the one thing. If I'm gonna say one thing negative about anyone in this game, Carter Lowe did not look good. I mean, I hope they figured out with him, but he just offensive line was kind of shaky. But also a lot of guys were out. Like I said, like Seyerfeld was out, Philip Daniels was out. A lot of pieces shifting. I don't know how much I'm gonna read into it, but just some interesting things that I felt like when you watched it too. The defense as a whole, like Matt Patricia has done such a fantastic job as a whole in Columbus, but it felt as if the defense is a much deeper unit than the offense this year. And it's kind of interesting because the offense has the better like talent overall. Like I guess obviously Jeremiah Smith's the best player on the team, so the offense has like the best player on the team. But the defense as a whole unit, they were looking fantastic. Um, and I want to kind of go through this. Like Kenyatta Jackson, Kenyatta Jackson looked dominant, and like he looks very fast in that number two, and he's really. I mean, he put together a couple sacks. He was getting into the backfield every time. Um, John Walker, I believe it was, had a sack. James Smith, I think, threw someone, like was ragdolled an offensive lineman that basically I think forced the quarterback to just dump the pass off right away. It was incomplete. Overall, the defensive line I think looked really good. The linebackers looked really good too. I mean, I was really hyped to see Sincere Johnson. I mean, there's two plays in a row where he just got into the backfield and absolutely wrecked the drive. And he's uncanny too because it's like he wears the number 20. He's an Ohio kid. He looks like the second coming of Arvell Reese. Now, how much is he going to play this year? I don't know because Arvell only played, I think, in like 8 games his freshman year. Part of it was because of a concussion. Now, could Sincere come in and obviously have a bigger role? Possibly, I don't know. But I mean, it looks like it's clicking. Like Tyvis Powell even said on the broadcast, like I love it when I see a player and it clicks. So I really thought, Sincere did a really nice job. Kari Wilder too. It's crazy because these two guys, Sincere Johnson and Kari Wilder, they really look the part, and it's funny because like everyone's like always freaks out about recruiting, but Ohio State always finds these like studs, and I mean these were pretty high recruits, but I just I just thought Wilder was getting great pressure too. Going through my notes right here, I also want to touch on. Let's take a look here. Oh, this I have to touch on. Inky Jones. I like Inky Jones, man. Um, that one pass breakup he had against Brock Boyd that probably should have been a pick six, but he didn't catch it, of course. He looked really comfortable out there at corner, and like we've seen we've seen the videos of Brock Boyd just cooking, like Jermaine Matthews and all the ones in practice. And Brock Boyd, he flashed a little bit in the spring game. Was it a monster performance? No, but he had a couple catches. Probably could have had a couple more, but he looks comfortable out there. He looks like a good route runner. I think he had a good game, not a great game, but I think he's going to continue to develop. And I thought, we got a good little taste of Brock Boyd, but obviously a little more to be like. I want a little more Brock Boyd after watching him flash. But back to Inky Jones, he's listed as a safety on the depth chart, but right now, kind of like the defensive backfield, the outside corner, it's kind of like not the deepest position on this team. It's obviously you have Jermaine Matthews, you have Dominic Kelly. Um, it's and oh my gosh, who else is the other corner, dude? Why am I drawing a blank? Um, it's been a day, fam. I'm sorry. Sometimes I just draw a blank. Um, oh my gosh, Devin Sanchez, obviously, yeah, who actually he looked pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Devin Sanchez looks like the real deal. I'm really excited to watch him lock down people. He had the one pass breakup on Jeremiah Smith. But back to my point, Inky Jones, like he's a safety on paper, but they had him taking reps at corner. That experiment needs to continue. I think I think if he could kind of come in and kind of play like a little hybrid role where maybe depending on if there's injuries or like what the situation is, he can go out to safety. He can go out to safety. I like Inky Jones and Jeremiah Smith said like he's like one of the most athletic freaks on the team. Um, so I think Inky Jones stock that's rising really fast. I also loved um, Luke Fahey. I know everyone was enamored with Tavion St. Clair, and he St. Clair put up great numbers. I mean, he was just throwing up to Henry. Luke Fahey though came in, and he's a kid out of California. He's not the biggest guy, not the biggest recruit. That cat can play. That kid can ball. I thought he was way better than Justin Martin. Now, obviously, what defenses are you going against at that point? I don't know, but he came out there. Obviously, he had the rushing touchdown, the 60-yarder or whatever. And I know some people are like, oh, it might not have been a touchdown, whatever. The fact that he just like went, he was able to read the field and just take off like that just shows me he's very instinctual. He's a gamer. He's a go-getter. He's gonna go for it. But then he also had a couple balls where they were incomplete, but they were good throws. They were really good throws. Like he has a really nice spiral. He knows where to put the ball where only the receiver can catch it. And now, these are third, fourth team receivers he was throwing to at times. If he throw those same balls to like Jeremiah Smith or Chris Henry, they come down with him 100%. Like they were they were beautiful throws, and he missed either a little outside or a little deep, but that's fine because you're not putting the ball in harm's way. You're only putting it in a spot where the receiver can make a play, and the receivers can absolutely make a play on those. So Luke Fahey really impressed me. And I don't think a lot of people are talking about Luke Fahey. I think I'm the only podcaster that's like Luke Fahey might be QB 2028. I think if he continues to progress, I like from what I saw in the spring game, watch out, dude. And I'm sure like obviously Ohio State will get another recruit who will be a 5-star and stuff, and Luke Fahey will probably end up transferring to like Duke or some Louisville or somewhere, and I'll be an idiot for saying all this. Wouldn't be the first time, but Fahey really impressed me. St. Clair obviously impressed me too. I think St. Clair, my thing is the game has slowed down for him a little bit. I think and he's not fully there yet. You can tell, he's got to clean some things up, but he looks way more comfortable than he has in the past. And you saw the arm talent on display. And the one throw itself, it was he was roll I think he was rolling out to the right, and Chris Henry was deep left on the deep left hash, and he made a throw basically across the body to the other side of the field. Um, he absolutely ripped the throw, and he also had a couple other deep bombs. His arm talent is insane. Um, and it has the fan base saying, "Oh, this team could be better with St. Clair at quarterback than saying." Oh, now I don't think that. I think saying is absolutely the entrenched starter. I don't think there's really a controversy. Um, but it is nice to know that there is some depth now at quarterback. So if Sane goes down, we have a guy who can kind of come in. Um, Additionally, Sane showed that he was going to be using his legs a little bit. Um, Beat Christian Alliegro for the touchdown on the first drive. I like that Sane's using his legs, but if Sane's going to be using his legs, you know, he is a smaller guy, and then he's not small. I want to point out, like he's like my size. Like I'm not a small guy, I would say, but like by football standards, I guess he's a smaller guy. Like that's fair to say. The Big Ten's a tough conference. If Saying were to get banged up in a game, I think the offense would still be pretty potent with St. Clair behind there. Um, but like I said, he was nine for like I think like 21. It wasn't a when you look at it, when you look at the actual box score, he didn't have a great completion percentage game, but he was making plays. I mean, he was dotting up Chris Henry. I mean, there was also a throw that was like behind Chris Henry that could have been better. A lot of things he could clean up. Absolutely, a lot of things he could clean up, like the Inky Jones pass too. Um, like the Inky Jones play that like he almost intercepted. That probably should have been a pick six. Um, I think St. Clair's a little late on that throw too. On Brock Boyd's out route, I think the power just went out in my house. Um, Hold on, what is going on here? Love to see that. Okay. Oh, oh, we're back. Okay. Oh, oh, oh my gosh. Well, I got my nightlight on at least, so we're podcasting. The podcast continues even though the power went out. Um, that's crazy. Just middle of the show, power goes out, but luckily I'm not on Wi-Fi. I'm just gonna upload this